I just got done watching The Mandalorian. I was not part of the party that stayed up until 6 a.m. to do it because I worked last night and exhaustion quickly set in. It's snowing here in Philadelphia. Let's do this. So The Mandalorian, it definitely flows different from different Star Wars iterations in the past. Aside from not being animated, it's the first live action TV series that we're seeing from Star Wars, and on Disney Plus, of course. And you get immediately a grittier vibe to it. I'd say it's mostly akin to the Rogue One sense that we got when we were on Jeddah. It looks epic. It looks beautiful. You'd never really guess that this was a made-for-TV series thing, but they are careful with their effects, Like, there's a scene with a monster, and it's kind of shown from, like, a limited perspective in a way, in a sense, I think, to avoid any prequel-looking effects. Which, of course, we are in our year 2019, so things do look better and brighter on TV than they ever did in movies 20 years ago. So the Mandalorian, he is donning similar gear to Boba Fett, and in fact, he uses his little staff that he used in the holiday special and the Droids TV series too, which I thought was really cool. They continue on without much dialogue at all, but really Star Wars has never been known for its dialogue, so it's a very limited spoken episode, and I kind of liked that because it just kind of takes you through a day in the life of the Mandalorian. We don't even really know his name yet. The only brief stint of information we get on him is in a tiny flashback. He has a troubled past, much like most primary protagonists, but he doesn't exude much of a protagonist nature until the very end of the episode. Now, the overall arcing theme of this episode is that he's basically looking for a bounty, a brand new bounty. It was supposed to be a female, 50 years old now. This takes place in a post-Empire time, so I sort of had my own preconceived notions of what that was, on top of the New York Times said that this episode was going to feature something that was of Star Wars universe bending, and I was really excited for what that meant. So I was very excited to see that, and I was like, okay, well, what does this mean? And I'm not gonna lie, there's also been intense rumors regarding one of Dave Filoni's original characters coming into the series, and I was like, are they doing this in the first episode? Are we seeing Ahsoka Tano in the first episode? And I will say, even though this is a spoiler-free review, that if you go into it expecting that, you might be slightly disappointed by the end. This does not mean she is not going to appear. It doesn't mean we haven't seen Dave Filoni's original character yet, who we do get in the end. It's a really pleasant surprise, actually. I really liked the twist. I think it offset the rest of the episode. The whole episode gives you these Western space gritty vibes, kind of like what Solo and Rogue One combined together. And there's a little bit of humor peeking through there. I think I could have done for a little bit more humor. And also a little more clarification on where we were and when we were. You're kind of going from place to place to place. I almost wish that it was like in Rogue One when they just told you what planet you were on screen. I know a lot of people didn't love that. I wouldn't have minded it just because we kind of sift through characters and we sift through planets. The only ones that you really become super familiar with are the Mandalorian, and you're not even that familiar with him, and IG-11, who everyone wishes was IG-88, but for good reason, he's not. He implements a lot of humor, as most of the droids do. There's a few quippy moments. I was glad that they went with the tone that they did, though, because I think it's important that they don't rush these things, and they were really just kind of taking your time with the episode. I really enjoyed it. I think that there's a lot of promise with this show. I don't know if I love that they just released this one first episode. I'm very curious where it's going to go in the second episode, which of course premieres on Friday. That is going to be interesting where he takes that. So I'm wondering if there's going to be certain elements that are similar to the Clone Wars and that Clone Wars movie. Those who have seen the episode kind of most likely get what I'm hinting at. I hope not, but I also think it would be a good way to open up this character a little bit. He definitely needs some exploration, but this is the first episode, and with any first episode of a TV series, even though it is Star Wars, you need to give it the benefit of the doubt that it's trying to get its footing a little bit. It's trying to dip you into the universe that we're in. The nodes and homages that I saw to the previous episodes and movies and everything like that were amazing. We see Salacious B. Crumb turning into crumbs. We see stormtroopers. We see a lot of different familiar creatures kind of from a distance. We see what I believe were supposed to be Jawas. There's Carbonite. Not to spoil like too much about it, but there is a lot of callbacks to Star Wars. And it's not in your face. Like some people complain that The Force Awakens is a little bit in your face about their references. I feel like these are very subtle and they're very friendly to fans, as well as people who, even if you've never seen Star Wars before, I think you will enjoy some aspect of this show. I definitely recommend giving it a look. No Boba Fett yet. No Boba Fett yet. And I don't think I'd hold my breath on seeing him. But I'm curious where the story is going to go with this, because again, we didn't really go too deep into the story yet. It sort of is the tip of the iceberg. I thought these episodes were going to be an hour long. It was definitely only about 45 minutes, so it doesn't take out too much time of your day. May the Force be with you guys. Go watch The Mandalorian. Have a great day.
You are alone? Maybe I can help you. I am Boba Fett. The ship you seek is nearby. They are here, friend, and growing more powerful. Settle down. All they do is eat. You are foolish to waste your kindness on this dumb creature. No lower life form is worth going hungry for, friend.